What made you ghost a friend? Guy told me you'll never be a good teacher. After 2 years of unemployment following my graduation with a teaching degree, I realized the bastard had meant every joking insult he'd ever said to me. This is why insult humor is hard for me now. Jesus, some friend. I don't get how people can't build up other people, it just kills them. Started talking shit about me to my GF and best mate. His dad had a history of drinking problems and he was starting to exhibit the same behavior, so I suggested we should both take a break from drinking for a while and try to focus on some healthier shit. He apparently took that as I'm not the same person and my GF was the person who changed me. Sounds like somebody didn't want to be held responsible for his own actions and it cost him his friend. When I was in college, I, M, and a friend, M, went out drinking with a mutual friend, F. We drank enough to decide to all crash at my apartment, which was within walking distance of the bar. My female friend passed out on the sofa as soon as we got there. I shot the shit with my friend for about 10 minutes. Before he started talking about my passed out girl, looking at her and saying things like I could fuck her right now and she'd never know. I'm ashamed that I didn't kick him out. What I did was stay up all night sitting in a chair next to her, just to make sure he didn't rape her. Fuck that guy. Needless to say, I ghosted him after that night. Holy shit, gross, the hell is wrong with that guy? Those people are dangerous to be mixed around with, man. When I realized a lot of the things that made her laugh were at my expense, she thrived off of humiliating me. For sure, signs of a shitty friend. I was bullied in school, but my worst bully was my best friend. I used to come home and cry to my mom. I would be heartbroken over how my best friend was treating me. Honestly, I don't remember what my mom would tell me, but I wish she would have told me that I was worth way more than the treatment that I received from her, that she was a bad friend and I should drop her, that I had friends who treated me with respect and that I should spend my time with them, that she would have forbade me from hanging out with her, anything. Anything. I wasted something like 15 years with that girl in that abusive friendship. Too much insult humor really fucked my esteem. Edit, since I can't possibly respond to all these and keep my sanity. We were friends for a while and it was almost always insult humor, and that combined with a shitstorm of other things just got to me and I took it personally and ended up blowing up at them. Now I really don't have any way to talk to them and don't care anymore. I had a friend who could only do insult humor. It really wears on you after a while, and they usually can't take criticism about it either. It was only a joke. And such excuses. Yeah, there's a line to that kind of stuff. When I realized the relationship was one-sided and they only cared about themselves. Too many people like that out there, that's for sure. Yeah, I had a relationship that was really great for a while, but over time I realized they just didn't care much for me anymore. It was always them needing something. When I realized she was maybe my best friend, but I was not her. In fact, I was only useful to her. That realization hits like a sledgehammer if you encounter some event or outing where you expected an invite and the friend just acted like you didn't exist. Boy, have I been in the same boat. That blows. I'm sorry. I hope you found some sincere friends since then. I told her not to tell anyone, so she told everyone. I've grown to learn that no secret is safe if it's shared with anyone, even to someone you deem trustworthy. I don't tell any big secret to anyone, they will follow me to my grave. Was it a dark secret? Like skeletons in the closet kind of secret? Every conversation was about them and their lives. They rarely asked or were interested in what I had going on. The selfishness was just too much after a while. I invited an old friend for lunch a couple months back and this is exactly how it went. We've more or less gone our own paths, so we have different friends and schedules etc, but at one point we were best friends. Amongst other stuff, this just solidified my decision to let things die off naturally. She didn't ask a single question about me when there's plenty to go off of, but I listened to a lot about her. She was really interested when it came to my jobs and how much I was making. Skeptical. This is something I used to struggle with in the past. At some point I realized that I was always talking and never really listened to the other person, and it suddenly made sense why I felt like I couldn't relate to anyone. I couldn't relate because I never let them tell their story. Only get ghosted. Finger guns. Actually same, exactly why I made this post lol. He knocked on my door one night and said let's go for a drive. This wasn't that odd since I love driving to cool my head. So we start driving and maybe 10 minutes in, he starts directing me on where to go. He asks me if I mind making a quick stop. I'm annoyed but say sure. We end up at this sketchy house in the middle of nowhere and my buddy goes inside, but tells me to wait in the car. Almost 45 minutes later he comes back out and says we gotta go to the bar. It takes me about 10 seconds to realize this pos went in there to get coke and was already high. So I tell him that I'm not feeling it tonight and drop him off at his place. Spoke to him once after that when he wanted to hang and I told him I'm nobody's errand boy. Never gave a shit if he got the message because I haven't spoken to him since. I'm surprised you actually waited for so long outside. Whoa, hell no. Straight up used you as a cab to get his stuff. Let alone the fact you had no clue. Not cool, fuck that. Depression. Keeping up communication is rough sometimes. A day of not replying to a message can become a week when you don't know how to explain that you just couldn't be around people that day, which can become a month when it always seems impossible to reach out and explain where you've been. Thankfully my friends are the understanding sort and don't give me too hard a time, but I still feel like an asshole. Hey, if they understand, I don't believe that you're an asshole and I doubt they think you are either. As adults sometimes it's just shit happens. I felt this. I lost a lot of friendships this way. Always remember, as I'm sure you know, the most important thing is that you can manage your mental health, be good at your job, and be there for your immediate family. Everything else is window dressing. Keep on keeping on, friend. Her fiancé was arrested and did jail time for possession of child pornography. When he got out, she married him and talked about how excited she was to have children with him. Edit, I understand that people are concerned about any children that are born to these people. I'm concerned too. That said, I cut off contact with her 6 years ago. I can't FB stalk her due to her privacy settings. I also moved a few time zones away so I'm not in the same social circle as her anymore either. All I can do is hope that the people who are still in her orbit do their due diligence. It sucks, but that's the option available to me. Did she just pretend that it didn't happen? Like what? Oh hell no. That sounds like a horror story waiting to happen. I'm not seeing this girl's logic at all. That realization that you're the one initiating all the interactions with them and when you stop, they don't notice. Dude, that happened to me. It was an insanely painful realization that I still struggle with. I hope you're doing well and have friends that appreciate you. That always hurts, and it definitely makes it easy to not reach out if you're already feeling unwanted. She burned the bridge. For most of the year and a half that she and I started working at the same place, she bullied me, micromanaged me, made me feel left out, and gaslighted me whenever I tried to confront her behavior. It was almost always my fault, nothing I ever did was right, and she refused to believe that she has control issues or that she was using me as a punching bag. She started doing this thing where she wouldn't text me unless I texted her first, and then get mad if I didn't text her. So, once she quit the job, I stopped texting her. I haven't spoken to her at all since August 2019 and I don't regret it. Rather narcissistic behavior. I'm not diagnosing or anything, but yeah, no, I wouldn't want to be around anyone like that. Me and a group of people were giving our opinions on something, and when I gave mine, my friend said I was acting all high and mighty and that I never knew what I was talking about. Felt nice. That's so weird to single you out like that over an opinion. I'm shy, so shit like that makes me not want to talk at all. Glad you removed yourself from that nonsense. Username checkout. Too much drama. Told a sob story in order to garner sympathy points. Story didn't check out and no one believed her, so she got even more angry about it. Decided to book it because her stories and playing games were getting too much for me. Subscribe for more hot Reddit takes in your inbox, guaranteed.